So to complete the second fix, all we've got to do is make the connections within the consumer unit. And we've said in the previous video that the reason we didn't like this one too much, the RCCB here is an AC type, and we're trying to move away from them. This is a college setting, and often it's rare to have an RCD, even though some circuits require it. And remember, we did say that this lighting circuit didn't. It isn't a domestic dwelling, but the RCD protection by the RCCB happened to be here because we're using this garage consumer unit from Fusebox. So I'm going to dress these singles in, and it's quite tricky to make them look nice and neat compared to when we did twin and CPC or twin and earth cables. But I'm going to start off by positioning my neutral. I'm going to be using fuseway number 2. And this is fuseway number 1, so we're going to be using the B6 amp MCB here. So I'm going to need to use position number 2, both my neutral bar and my earth bar at number 2. So remember, this is the main switch as well as the RCD protection. This is circuit number 1, rated at 16 amps, and circuit number 2 is rated at 6 amps for this lighting circuit. So I'm going to dress these round at the top, just leave a little bit extra on them. It is tricky to make them look super neat, so I'm just going to curl those out the way. And we're going to strip it, and we're going to double this one over. Perhaps I'll take my side cutters this time. So side cutters and just push away as we go. So you just push it away, and then we're going to twist those up as we've done throughout the video to make them nice and tight. And then we will double these over and insert them into position number 2 in both the neutral and earth connections. That's the earth bar where the CPC will go. So take those, trim it back, twist again, and then we're going to double that one over. Let's make the connection nice and neat, and we're going to position that in number 2. I'll take my posi drive screwdriver to start with. Just going to back off the screw. I'm just going to gently put it into position. So we're in, and then just gently wind it down. I'm not going to tighten it off just yet, and I've left the neutral connection there. I'll do a similar thing with the CPC. So going to wrap that round at the top, and then just bring it back into position and go into number 2. So I probably won't have to lose much off that one. Take my pliers this time, and then just push away. And we'll go and tighten those conductors up. Remember, we don't want any of them to break off. If they break off, you've got to start again. Got that one, trim it back, twist off the end, slightly less than half, or to fold it against the pliers. And then we've got our doubled over termination. I can pop that into number 2. Again, take my posi drive screwdriver, just back off the screw, and drop it into position, and then we'll tighten them up in a minute. Once we've got all the connections made, we'll tighten them up using a torque screwdriver. So just pop that one in there, number 2, so that's connected. And again, you can see it is considerably difficult. Number of things, I'm doing it upside down, which obviously makes it a little bit harder for me, as well as the fact they are single cables, so just keep those out the way. And then we've got our line connection. Can't even pass it behind here, so we can't get behind the breakers. So again, to leave it a little bit longer, I'm just going to position it. What should we do with this one? Let's go, maybe if I just hook it right there. I'm just going to bring it back round like that. Okay, so I've just had a quick look myself, so I'll come round, so I'm going to do that one, and we'll make that connection into the top of the 6 amp type B MCB. Twist those ones up. Again, I've never used this style of consumer unit before. Marcus gave me it, which was good of him. I may change it out for a different one as well, so I'm not overly comfortable with it. So fold that one over, so nicely doubled over. As we're going into a cage terminal, the top of this breaker, I'm going to try and lay it flat. So I've laid it flat, so I've not gone side on, I've laid it flat in order to go into that cage terminal. And once I'm in there, I can tighten that one down, making sure I'm going into the copper and not the PVC. Again, I'm not tightening it up, I'm just tightening it down. So there you go, just that's it, it's not tight. So let's make that look a little bit neater. Well, number 2 for neutral, number 2 for our CPC, and we've used breaker number 2 as well. I've done it upside down. I will make a separate video on how to build this board up. how to put the DIN rail and the breakers together, so clip these onto the DIN rail as well as put the bus bar in as well in a separate little video. But there's our connections made, reasonable but not brilliant, but again I did it upside down. Now let's think about returning these to the required torque settings. Bring in the manufacturer's instructions. The torque settings are here for both the RCD, which is this section here which we're not connecting to, the MCB, which we're doing the number 6. The MCB goes up to 16 millimeter squared cables. We've only got 1.5, and it's 2.5 Newton meters of torque. And the earth and neutral bars are identical at 2 Newton meters of torque. And we've got a torque screwdriver currently set to 2.4 Newton meters of torque, so we're going to need to adjust that to 2.5. Pull out the section that holds together for our screwdriver. Bring in our bar to adjust our torque setting. And then we've got to work out which way to wind it. So if we go this way, I've got no number there. And then we come to there, we can see that we've got 2.6. So we're between the two. So I need to roll back, not all the way back to 2.4. I need to go in the blank window in between, which means we set that to 2.5 Newton meters of torque. With the bar, bring back in our screwdriver holder and the tip. And the tip now is a slotted posi, so it's slightly different than what we're perhaps used to when doing screws for electrical accessories to hold them in position. We've got a slotted posi now. And we lock it into position, and we're ready now to use that against the breaker. So I've got on the top of the breaker, and I will be tightening this down. I only did it loosely to start with, so I'm going to turn it. You see the screwdriver's moving. We've got no clicking sound at the minute, so we're waiting for that click. One more, and let's see if we can get it. That wasn't the click, so press a little bit harder. There we go, we heard that click. So lots of pressure on top of the screwdriver. We only need to hear it click once. That's got it to the required torque setting of the MCB here at 2.5 Newton meters of torque. We need to change it for the earth and neutral bars, so we're going to change it over to 2 Newton meters of torque. So back through the process again, pull out that. We're looking at the window, we're looking to loosen it off now. So that's our 2.4. That should be 2.2. That would be 2.1. So if we go to there, we've got our 2 Newton meters of torque there. So back in, we can reassemble. And we're ready now for both the earth and neutral bars. We need to lock that in position. So as you watch here, there's a little locking section. So pull that up, and that locks that into position. It just came loose. So there we go. So we lock that in. That's held into position. Drop it on top of our screw. Plenty of pressure down. So we're going to see it turning because we only did it loosely, and then we should hear one click. There we go. That's clicked and got to the required torque setting. We move across now to the earth bar where our CPC is connected. And again, one twist, we're getting tighter. One click is all we need to hear. There we go. And we've got that to the required torque setting.